Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video we'll be answering the question, what is a gerund? Simply put, it is the ing form of a verb that is used as a noun. It can also be known as a verbal noun. The way I like to see it is that a gerund has a special superpower. It's a bit like a superhero really. It's used like a noun, but it's acting in a sentence like a verb. So it's raising a subject, but it's demonstrating the action or the issue shown through the ing form of the verb. Let's see in this example. I don't like speaking much after midnight. Me neither. You should be asleep. The top tip is if it ends in an ing, it could be a gerund, especially if it acts like a verb, but it's used as a noun in a sentence. So, I don't like speaking much after midnight. The gerund is clearly speaking. The issue this person is raising is around speaking. It's around the action of speaking, but the action of speaking is being treated like its own subject here. Just for your reference, I'm sure some of you have already realised that I don't like, that's a verb phrase. And well done if you realised that after midnight is an adverbial. It's giving more information about the specifics of when and how this person doesn't like speaking. I digress. A gerund is speaking in that sentence. It is used like a noun. It's the subject of this person's conversation, but it's acting like a verb, especially with its ing ending. Now it's your turn. For each of these 5 sentences, I want you to identify if you can see a gerund in that sentence. I'd like you to identify it as well, if you can. Hit pause if you need thinking time. So, how did you get on? Eating is not allowed in the theatre. Yes, eating is indeed a gerund. This is a house. Unfortunately, there is no gerund in that sentence. The act of smoking is a dangerous one. Very true. Smoking is, in this sentence, a gerund because it ends in an ing. The flooding has affected millions of lives. Unfortunately, flooding in this sentence is a gerund. Crying is not a sign of weakness. In that sentence, we can see the gerund in the opening word, crying. So, a gerund has a special superpower. It's a noun, but it also behaves like a verb. It helps us explain ourselves, and it often fleshes out the action of a subject in a sentence. So by that, we're adding more detail about how this thing acts or operates, which we need more by acting as a verb than we can simply say if it was just the noun, flood, smoke, for example. It's worth considering that gerunds, or verbal nouns if you prefer to call them that, really help us understand the action behind a subject in a sentence. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar for all things English, literary and grammatical?